Few questions to begin. Question number one. Are you inspired? I think I came to the wrong convention. This might be the bookkeeping convention. Aren't you glad you got the front row, Carla? Let me try that again. Are we inspired? Have we learned new skills? And have we found our breakthrough? All right, so let's now, the motivation speeches are over, the rah-rah, the excitement, the fireworks, all that's over. Now, it's time to get to work. We've got to talk about how do you manifest that breakthrough into practical application? How do you take this motivation that you now have because you were inspired by all the incredible presenters you heard up here this weekend? And you're motivated because you've seen these powerful new tools which you have to work with. And you found your breakthrough, and you've done your critical thinking, and you made that commitment. You made that decision. Oh yeah, they're reloading me, so be ready. So they, we've set that up, and now we got to say, okay, what does that look like? How do we turn it from the metaphysical realm of thought into the physical plane? And this was a conversation we had in the diamond training the other night. The power of mind. And this is such a monumental force when you can harness that effectively. So I can't remember the year, but I'm going to guess it was around 96 or something. I was watching TV and a commercial came on for the Chrysler Corporation, and it was a commercial for a red Dodge Viper. And it was just being introduced. So whatever year the Viper came out, it wasn't even out yet. It was going to come out like a year from there. They had a big ad on the Super Bowl or one of those big events saying, we're remaking ourselves over, we're going to do it, and this is the future. And they showed this red Dodge Viper. And I was, because the Viper was, I think, the most magnificent American muscle car that has ever been built. And I love Detroit muscle, right? And this was, just when it was standing still, it looked like it was going 400 kilometers an hour. Just sitting there. And I said, I've got to have one of those. So I did something which I'm going to recommend you do a little bit later on, is on my vision board, this big poster board I have of things that I want to do, have, or become, I found a picture of a Viper and I put it on my vision board. And didn't think about it anymore. So some months later, I'm meeting with a company that's launching in our profession, and they've been out for a year or so, and they're kind of struggling. They're not doing a lot of sales, and they brought me in to work with the team, create the marketing materials, and kind of set up their duplicable system. And so we're negotiating the contract. And so we agree on how much the initiation fee is, and it's going to be an 18-month contract, and how much I'm going to get a month for the fee and everything. And then I said, there's one other clause here, is when you reach $2 million a month in sales, you're going to buy me a new Dodge Viper. And the CFO, the chief financial officer, was in the room. He's like, no, we can't do that. It's, because there's tax issues and licensing, and there would be shipping, and it's too messy. And I was like, I don't want to hear your personal problems. When I get you to $2 million a month, you're going to send me a Viper. That's the deal, or there's no deal. So work it out. So they work it out. We put it in the contract. So I'm going about my thing. I'm working with them, and we're developing materials, and we're kind of getting the branding and the positioning and training the field, and we're having events, and pretty soon they're doing $40,000 a month, and then they're $80,000 a month, and then $200,000 a month, and $500,000 a month, and goes up. And one day I get a call from the CEO. He says, listen, we just closed out the books for last month, and we did $1.7 million. That's the biggest month we've ever had. We didn't think we were going to get there until a year or 2 years from now. So I want to send you the Viper early. So I said, I love it. How exciting. Great thing. He says, there's just one catch. I said, well, what's the catch? He said, well, my friend actually owns the largest Viper dealership in the United States. He specializes in them. And he gets unique Vipers like no one else has. So he has a Viper, which is the only one of its kind in the world. Because if you remember when the Viper first came out, there was no radio, there was no air conditioning, and there was no roof. Because Carroll Shelby designed the Viper, and he said, I am going to make the ultimate race car. And we're not putting any of that luxury stuff. This is going to be the meanest, most powerful beast that has ever been on a racetrack. So Matt's friend who owned this dealership had called him and tells, because Matt says he wants to buy a Viper for me, and he tells him, okay, I have this one-of-a-kind Viper. It's got a roof kit that no other Viper has. It has louvers on the side in the air vents that were built by the company that designed the clay model, and it's the only one with this, and it's got this, and it's got that. And I'm like, and it was owned by a casino owner in Las Vegas who was going through a divorce, and he desperately needed money, so he was selling this one-of-a-kind Viper that was worth 2-3 times what a normal one was. So I'm hearing all this, and I say, what's the problem? I don't hear any problem. He said, the problem is, I know you said you wanted a red one, but this one is black. Black? Let me think about this. I'm going to call you back in a little bit. So I do what I like to do when I'm brainstorming. I get on my bike and I ride down to Ocean Drive. And so I'm going down Ocean Drive, and I get around 9th Street, and there's lots of nice restaurants there, and lots of valet parking, there's always beautiful cars. Miami's a car town, right? I come up on a restaurant, and there is 2 Vipers parked in front of this restaurant. One red one, one black one. Now you say, how did that happen? I manifested it. Okay? So I ride by my bike, I look at him, I ride back my bike, I look at it, I stop my bike, I get off my bike, I look at the red one, I look at the black one, and I say, I gotta have the black one. So I go and I call Matt and I say, hey, I'm ready, send me the black Viper. What's the moral of the story? The photo of the Viper that I had put on my vision board was black. Because I just, I got like a Rob Report or a DuPont Registry magazine, and I was looking for a picture of viper, and the only one I found was a black one. So I didn't think anything about it. When I saw it, I just cut it out and I put it on the viper board, on the vision board.
On the viper board.
But that is, well, you could call it a viper board because I had 9 or 10 of them. And of those 9 or 10 vipers, none of them was as dear to my heart as that first one. Even when I was done with it, I couldn't just do anything with it. I sold it to Art Jonak so that I still would be able to visit it, and say hi now and then. So this is the power. When we put something like a vision board or an affirmation, we're putting repetitions in our subconscious mind, and it's happening over and over and over again. And just the fact that I chose that black photo and put it on the vision board, that's how that came about. I believe that with every fiber of my being. I can't explain it. I don't know what's the science behind it. I know there's no rational, logical, analytical, but I believe there is what the ancient Vedic sages say is the space between thoughts, or what Joseph Campbell would call the collective unconsciousness. Unity teaching would say it's the ethers, but there is some force field where thoughts communicate, where energy is attracted or repelled. I believe that with every fiber of my being, even though I can't prove it scientifically. Yeah. So when we talk about your breakthrough, the single most important part of your breakthrough is when you decide that it's your breakthrough. That decision is what programs your subconscious mind. And you guys know, the conscious mind is like the tip of the iceberg, 5% above water. The subconscious mind is the 95% that's below the water you don't see. And when you have a conflict of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, and they're connected, they're conflicted with each other, the subconscious mind always wins. How do people become diamond with Zinzino? It happens twice. I told the diamonds this the other night. The first time it happened for them was the day they decided, I am going diamond. That was the first time. That was the inciting incident for the breakthrough, and then the breakthrough was when they actually manifested the pin on the physical plane. And the same thing happens with going director, and the same thing happens with going crown. That pin is created twice. Once in your mind initially, and then on the physical plane, when you've programmed your subconscious mind, you've created a vision so powerful, it pulls you toward it. I like to use the analogy of a rubber band, right? If we put a strong rubber band between our two thumbs, and we say, this thumb is your current reality, where you are right now. This thumb is where you want to become, where you want to go, the rank you want to achieve, the breakthrough you want to have. The more further apart they are, the more tension is in that rubber band trying to pull them back together. And one of two things usually happens. For most people out in the real world, the reality pulls their dream back to their reality. And they say, be realistic. It takes money to make money. You have to get in at the top. You have to know people. You're not meant for that. And just be happy with your life of quiet desperation. This is what's happened to billions of people around the world. That isn't what happened to the people who are in the Ericsson globe right now. Because the people who are in the Erickson Globe right now had a vision, a dream, a goal so powerful that it's pulling your reality to it. And that's the power of the mind. That's what we have to do. So, all right. I told you this was working session. What I'm gonna give you now is action steps. I have 7. Here's your assignment, okay? Because yes, we had a great time. Yes, we're all motivated. Yes, we're all excited. But no, this is about what are you going to do on the drive home, the plane ride home, the train ride home, what you're doing tomorrow, what you got booked for Tuesday, what you got booked for Thursday. So I want to give you an assignment of 7 items I want you to do. And remember that remember what we learned yesterday when we talked about the breakthrough elements of a breakthrough. Number 1 is it usually comes from failure, not success. So ask yourself, what is the failure that you've had with Zinzino so far that you can learn from and grow from to create your next breakthrough? We know that the second thing was it's internal, not external, right? So we're going to stop worrying about, well, what if my sponsor did this? What if Orion and Hilda did that? What if Gage changed the comp plan? What if we added a different flavor oil? No. That's all external stuff. We're going to focus on the things you control. So we're looking for the breakthrough that's internal, not external. And most importantly, the third thing you learned yesterday was, hey, you can't go into a new breakthrough with old beliefs. We've got to lose those old beliefs, and we've got to replace them with empowering beliefs. So, here's your assignment. Are you with me? Are you willing to go all in and do these assignments? Yeah. Don't make me pick this up again. Are we willing to go all in and do these assignments? Yes! All right. Assignment number 1 is I want you to set a wellness goal. Some goal that has anything to do with wellness. You're going to quit smoking. You're going to walk 15 minutes a day. You're going to start a yoga class. You're going to learn Pilates. You're going to register and train for a half marathon. You're going to stop drinking. You're going to eat more fruits and vegetables. You're going to consume more Zinzino products. Totally up to you, but I want a goal that has nothing to do with the business, but is just a specific wellness goal, because that's really important, believe it or not, for growing your business. Assignment, who's with it? Is everybody in on doing the first assignment? Okay. All right, assignment number 2, I want you to get a workout partner before you leave here, or an accountability partner. You know how you have a workout partner at the gym? I want you to have this for your assignments. So it's somebody, and it's probably not your sponsor. Someone else in the team, and maybe even somebody cross-line, where you agree you're going to contact each other once a week and commit to what your goals are for that week, your action steps, and then you're going to talk to them once a week, and they're going to hold you accountable, and you're going to hold them accountable. Still with me for number 2? Yes. All right, number 3. I want you to have a specific counseling session with your sponsor and publicly declare to them what your breakthrough is that you got this weekend. Okay, the thing that you say, okay, when I learned this, or the belief I got for that, or the skill set I learned of this, or man, this new tool so excited me, I made a commitment to, whatever that breakthrough is for you, I want you to share that specifically with your sponsor. Number 4, I want you to commit to daily self-development time, where you spend at least 20 minutes, preferably in the morning before you start, and you just work on you. something that makes you a better version of yourself. So, some suggestions. They have a bookstore here. The bookstore is going to be open after the session ends. There's books by this guy named Gage that I really think are amazing. There's books by some other people that I think are really amazing. So go to the bookstore, pack your suitcase with some good stuff. Next thing is be sure you're on the GoPro program. If you're not, get signed up this weekend. And third, I now have a podcast. It's called the Power Prosperity Podcast. And it's free. So just go to iTunes or whatever your podcast provider is and search my name or Power Prosperity Podcast and subscribe to that. You get 3 shows a week of just positive programming to keep you focused, building toward your dream. And you got to make that commitment that every day the self-development time is sacred. Okay, number 5, I want you to commit that you will put 30 people in front of the new Zinzino booklet before November 1st. All right, so 30 people. That whether you start in the one part and you're just looking for customers, or you start at the beginning and you're looking for partners, it doesn't matter to me. I prefer you start and look for, give them both options and let them choose what they want to do. But you decide. But your commitment, your assignment, and if you accept the assignment, is you say, okay, because you know what's going on. You've got this promotion going on right now where you can get 200% of the, what do you call it, ECV, I think, or whatever it is for this month, next month. If you get 5 points, if you get 8 points, and you know how you do that? You put people in front of presentations, don't we? That's Rainmaker Active. Yeah, give me an A. Somebody give me an amen. All right, so if you're committed, you say, okay, I make this solid commitment that between now and midnight on the last day of October, I will show this plan to 30 different people. Because you don't control what they decide, right? They decide if they want to be a customer, they decide if they want to be a partner. The only thing you can control, excuse me, is your actions. And your actions is how much Rainmaker activity. So it's 30 people in front of, and this new Info Zinzino book, is this sexy or what? This is really a sexy tool. This is really, and it tested really well. When we were in development and they were testing it, it's really getting conversions. All right? So now, who's with me? We're 5 into this. Who's still here, still doing this? All right. Number 6, I want you to set a rank advancement goal for January 1st. Or actually, we should just say, whatever the last pay week of 2018 is, that you will achieve a rank advancement by then. And some of you, it might be 2 ranks. Some of you, it might be 3 ranks. Some of you need to re-qualify at an old rank and then go, I get it. But you're here, you came, you got your breakthrough. So I want you to set that goal of what you can do. You got half of October, you got all of November, and you got all of December. So you got a 10-week or so window where you could really get after this. Right? So I want you to set a stretch goal, something that really challenges you of where you're going to be by that first week. Now, why is that so important? Because let me tell you what most of the people in our profession are going to do. They're going to check out December 14th, and they're going to check in again January 2nd. They say, we have Christmas, and we have Hanukkah, and we have Kwanzaa, and we have New Year's, and it's all the office parties, and it's all the holiday shopping, and there's so much traffic, and that's what most of the people in the other companies are going to do. So the thing is, when you really work from the middle of December through New Year's Day, it's like every hour you spend is worth 4 hours any other time of year. And you know what is the other most important thing of all this? How you close one week is how you open the next week. How you close 1 month is how you open the next month. How you close 1 year is how you open the next year. If you have a good, strong first week of 2019, you're going to have a good January. If you have a good January, you're going to have a good first quarter. If you have a good first quarter, you're going to have a great year. And 1 year from now, you will be in the Canary Islands on your director trip. All right? So keep that in mind as you set that goal. And then finally, number 7 is I want you to create a vision board like I did. And if you have one, great, but it might be time to refresh it, okay? Because you're going to find when you put things on the board, you get them, and then, the board starts to get dated, and it's time you need to challenge yourself and create a new one. So all you do, you get a big piece of poster board from the office supply or the art supply store, and then you put things on it, images that mean something to you. They don't have to mean anything to anyone else, but things you want to do, have, or become. Put your spiritual life, put your health and wellness, put your family time, put your business, put your hobbies, and then maybe your dream is to find a soulmate. So you might just put a picture of a silhouette of a couple, or you might just put a picture of a wedding ring, or a wedding picture. It doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else. It only has to mean something to you. And don't let other people see it. Because those people out there in the real world, they're going to make, oh man, that's so cheesy, that's so good. You don't need losers raining on your parade, okay? This is for you. And you put that vision board somewhere where you're going to see it every morning and every night. Because even when you just walk by, if you have the vision board over here and it's just in your peripheral vision, every time I walked by that, there was a black viper there, right? Every time I walked by, there was a thing that said, #1 New York Times best-selling author. Every time I walked by, it said $1 million income earner. Every time I walked by, it said #1 payout in the world. I had all those things on my board, and I manifested every one of them. Why? Because I programmed them. Right? So I want you, that's your homework, I want you to program that into your mind. I want that vision board done before New Year's Day, okay? You could do it anytime up to New Year's Eve, and the sooner the better, because, once it is, so get some really good magazines, right? So if you're looking for a beautiful home, get your dream home. If you want your Zinzino car, have a picture of that Zinzino car. You want to run a marathon, have a picture of a marathon taking place. You want to, start a family, have the family. Whatever it is, give your subconscious mind the programming. Remember, and there's, again, no rules. You can have it by area, spiritual here, wellness is here, or you can mix it all up. There's no rules. It only has to mean something to you. It doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else. And here's your bonus lesson. You got young kids, 11 years old, 13 years old, 15 years old, 8 years old. If you got them working on a vision board now, at their age, it's going to accelerate their prosperity in life by 20 years, I promise you, if you started that early. All right, how many people are with me? You're absolutely committed to doing these 7 assignments. All right, let's make sure. I need everybody to stand up. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
That I believe in my dream.
That I believe in my dream.
That I believe in my breakthrough.
That I believe in my breakthrough.
That I will do all 7 assignments.
That I will do all 7 assignments.
and I will live my breakthrough.
And I will live my breakthrough.
Let's do it! Love you.